Welcome to another Tuesday tip. Today we are talking about grains. Now I have two grains that I want to show you. First one is quinoa. Now quinoa is not just for birds, it's for humans, okay? This is a really cool grain. I really love it in like salads and things like that. It is very high in protein as well, vitamin B, things like that. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what we do. Now, this is some quinoa here. Now, as you can see, it's like a beautiful seed, right? And what we do is we take and we cook these seeds down. We add a little bit of water, or if you want to get a little more flavor into it, you can use some stock, like chicken stock or beef broth or things like that. That will introduce that flavor to the quinoa. Now, that quinoa will cook up real good, and it will be a very, very high source of protein, which is great. Vegetarians, vegans, things like that. A lot of people eat this around the world. Now, quinoa is very, very high in protein, so it's good for people who are not getting a lot of protein, let's say with different meats and chickens and beefs and things like that. So you can substitute it real quick with some quinoa to get some protein in there. Now, one of the dishes that I do is a spinach salad that I roll the spinach into the vinaigrette, and then I'll take that cooked quinoa and I'll just kind of sprinkle it right over the top, and that quinoa will kind of stick to that spinach, will allow that protein to get into your body, and you can be more nutritious plus delicious, okay? So that is one of our high protein grains that I suggest that you kind of work into your diet. And go ahead and play around with these grains at home, and that's what we're all talking about, how to get different things into your cuisine at your house. The next grain that we have is farro. Farro is a species of wheat, and as you can see with this farro, it's a very kind of tough grain, so you got to cook it down for a little while. But that grain will swell up on you, and farro is very delicious. But again, it's one of those things that you have to introduce flavor to that grain. So when I cook my farro, I'll use a flavorful liquid. Now, stocks and beef broths and things like that are one way to do it. Or you can take some seasoning, say a little granulated garlic. You mix that in with your water. Say you use a little Cajun spice, mix that in with your water. So you make this beautiful flavored water, and then you cook your farro in that water, and that will introduce that flavor to that grain. So farro, here's a good dish for you. I'll take that grain, I'll put it in the pot, I'll add some chicken stock, I'll add a little bit of seasoning, maybe a little bit of blackening seasoning, or like I said, that granulated garlic is always one of my favorites. And then what I'll do is I'll cook that farro out. And then I'll take some of those fresh cranberries and I'll put it in a saute pan. I'll add a little bit of butter. I'll add a little bit of farro. After it's cooked, right? After it's cooked farro into the saute pan. I'll add some fresh cranberries. I'll saute those up real quick. I'll also add some golden raisins. Oh, we're getting a little sweet, a little bit nutty, we're getting a little grainy. We'll put all that together, and then that will be kind of a base set for whatever dish I would like to do. Whether I'm slicing a nice duck, laying it over there, or a nice chicken breast, laying it right over that farro. Introduce some new grains into your diet and have some fun at your house. Introducing all these new things into your diet. Introducing all these new things into your family's culture and cuisine. And I'll see you next time on Tuesday Tips.